So now here, if you look at this, so that's a perfect place to cast, and you might get lucky and get a fish just like that. What's up, everybody? Todd Welch here from the Backcountry Trail, and today I am on the lower Provo River here in Utah. And the reason I'm on the lower Provo River today instead of the upper, which is much cooler water, is that down here the water gets warmer, it slows down, it starts mixing with the lake, the Utah lake water, and big brown trout have been known to come down into this warmer water because brown trout can survive this warmer water better than rainbows, cutthroat, and brook trouts and such. And they'll come down to this warmer water and compete with the northerns for the larger minnows and fish that they can eat. Because when you're big brown trout, you need to forage a lot to maintain that weight and grow bigger. So you're not just sitting in the river waiting for food to come like a lot of rainbows and brook trout when they're smaller. So as they grow, they need to forage more, and this warm water provides the opportunity for minnows and some larger fish and such that they can come after. So gonna hit this here and see how we do. I'm gonna be using this chrome spoon here. Get it a little bit closer. I've got a gold snap swivel on there with kind of not chrome but copper spoon with a red tail on there. Should provide quite a bit of flash in the water to attract the larger fish, make a little noise in the water as well, and we'll see what happens here. So down below, click on that subscribe button and then click the little bell to get alerted to more videos just like this. Stay tuned. Now you'll notice that this water is not moving very fast. Trout typically like faster moving water than this, but as I said, with those big brown trout, they could be down in here competing with the northerns for larger minnows and such. So let's see what happens. Get out there a little further into the main channel. It's pretty slow, but if I get out there, could be something sitting out there. And now you'll notice I'm keeping my rod tip pretty low. If you can see that in the camera, I've got it pretty low to the ground. And that's because a couple of reasons. It helps keep my lure lower in the water, and it's also just easier to set the hook when you are fishing with it way down, with your tip down towards the water. You can just jerk it faster and really get a good hook set. Perfect. Now I've got this nice heavier lure on here as well, and so that's going to help me be able to throw it all the way across the river here, since it's a little bit longer, and get, you know, right in the bank there next to those trees. Trout are going to like to hang out by that cover, especially in this slow moving water. There's birds around. They want to make sure they have places to hide. So they're going to be somewhere in the moving water, but with cover close by that they can hide in. Got snagged in the there and lost my lure. Oh, but I see it right there. Oh, got it. Thanks to the water shoes. All right, let's head up a little further. That water is quite warm compared to up the mountain a little ways. That is for sure. So now one thing you want to do is, before just walking up on a place like this right away and fishing from the shore, casting to the other side, take a look. This is a nice tree laying here. We've got pilings going down in. If I just run right down there, I could potentially scare a really nice fish. So I'm going to make some casts from up above here and see if there's anything down there. So we got faster moving water in the middle. Some structure out there, but it's pretty shallow. Not sure there's a whole lot here, but let's cast out there and just see. Sometimes you'll have some fish playing right in the middle in that faster water if they're comfortable. It's easy to bypass these areas where you can just see the bottom and think there's no fish, but as long as there's structure for a fish to run to and hide, if there's a bird or something else that scares it, they'll sit right out in the middle if that's where the food is coming through. Usually behind a rock or a log or something like that, because the fish prefer to not expend any energy or as little as possible to catch their food if they're going to grow bigger. So they're going to be hiding behind something that's breaking the current for them. I don't know if that's a sucker or what that is. You can't really see it with the glare, but you can really see the difference with the polarized glasses. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. But you can see the fish actually swimming down there, but not without the glasses. Pretty cool. That's why you have polarized glasses fishing. So now this area right here looks really tempting. And maybe if I was fishing panfish or something, but the water here is not moving really at all. You can see those leaves out there just barely drifting. So a trout is not going to be sitting in here. They need a little faster moving water than that. They prefer so that the food is coming to them. Water's much colder here than down below. Let's see if I can get a cast here. Just got a pretty narrow window here, as you can see. Let's see if I can walk out there just a little bit. This is the advantage of wet wading. There we go. Okay, made it. And this looks beautiful here. The water gets funneled into a narrower path here, so the fish are going to be more funneled in here. So let's see what happens. Just want to be really careful, really quiet, not to scare anything. Work our way down here just a little bit, nice and slowly, without scaring any fish. Just seen a fish. Came up from right down here. Might be a little overhang ledge right below me here. Oops, shit. Whew. That was close. My lure came off. Opened up my snap swivel here. I think it was somewhere on this log here, but I don't have too much more time to fish, so and I'm not seeing it, so I'm not gonna waste my time. Let's just grab another lure and get going. Switch over to a silver blue fox here. Try that out. So now here, if you look at this, you see how the water's coming down in here. It's hitting that tree branches and it's pushing it out over that way. The trout could be laying anywhere on this side of that line that you see there, where the water is broken up. It's a little bit slower and the food is coming past quickly next to them so they can conserve energy and quickly go out, grab something to eat, come back in, conserve energy in the slower water. So that's a perfect place to cast up ahead and reel down into. And you might get lucky and get a fish just like that. Look at that. Speak of the devil. What did I tell you? Not a trout, but another white bass right there. Let's get that out of his mouth here if we can without hurting him. Boy, he's a strong little guy, really strong, fighting against me. There we go. Got it right out of him, no problem. Boy, for such a small fish, he is really fighting against me. He's got some strength. Beautiful little guy though. Let's get him back into the water. And some sharp spines there too. There he goes, right there. Just relaxing. And he'll be fine. Heading back to where I just caught him. He knows where the food is. You see that? I don't know if you could see that. It's like a muskrat over there running on the bank. There he is again. I don't know if it's the same one, different one. Must be a different one. Two of them. Let's get up around this log here. We got some more trees in the water here. I cast right in front of it this time. There he is on the shore running around over there again. Trying to find some food, I suppose. There he is. Thinking he's a muskrat. Alright, so now, if you can see here, we've got some fast water coming down into here, which most likely is going to become a deeper hole. A lot of fish are going to sit right at the tail of where the faster water starts stopping. Others will sit at the end of the pool, which is where I caught that white bass. So let's cast right up into here, bring the lure down into this little slower water. A lot of times they'll be sitting right off to the sides of this faster water in the slower current. Let's see what happens. Move up a little bit. Ooh, I just seen a fish come up there, right off to the left of the ripples up there. There he is. What'd I tell you? Right to the left of those ripples. Looks like a little tiny white bass. Oh no. Oh wow, it's a brook trout. No, a brown trout, I think that is. Beautiful little trout. Very nice. Wow, he thought he was going to eat this whole lure. I dang near ripped his face off, I think. See if we can get that out of him without killing him, because he literally took the whole thing. There we go. Now that one. And then that one. Okay. Might have gotten him. But look at that. Just barely bigger than my hand. Beautiful. Oop, come here, buddy. Let me get you back into the water. Let's get him back in the water. Hopefully he will be okay. I think I got the hook out good. Always hold the fish like this until they go from your hand, because a lot of times they're going to be not doing so hot. There he goes, right down alongside the bank here, down in, so he should be okay. I think I got that hook out of him good. There he comes swimming back up again. He's trying to get down underneath there away from me. He should be okay. Yeah, I just heard another one jump right over here where this pipe is in the water. A little bit slower water over there, right off of the deep, or the fast water. Very well, it could be one sitting right over there, but they might have heard the commotion from that little guy. Let's move up just a little bit more. There's still a lot of fast water in the middle with slow water off to the side. It's a little shallower, but they've got lots of structure here to hide under, so they should be okay with that. Especially right here, so you can see the ripples, and then on the far bank, there's slow water. That's perfect spot. They're getting food pushed right to them. Let's check that out. Oop. Perfect. So now you'll notice I'm keeping my rod tip up higher than I was earlier, and that's because I can tell the water is shallower there, and I don't want it to be hitting. Oop, just had a follow-up. I don't want it to be hitting and rubbing along the bottom, and I also have a heavier lure on, so that makes a difference as well. Keep it a little higher up over those rocks. Looked like that fish came right from over here. Oh, missed him. I seen a white body on that one, so that was either most likely a white bass. I think it's too warm up here for rainbows. Pretty sure he got a taste of the hook, so he's probably not going to bite again, but let's see. This is about the most perfect habitat for trout that you can get right here. Fish jumping behind me. It's not natural to bring a lure upstream. Trout and other fish that are going to be in here are going to be used to seeing their food coming downstream, so it's not the best tactic to cast downstream. Across and bringing it across the water as it goes down, or up and bring it down. One or the other is going to be your best tactic. So another blue fox. This one is a number 1. The last one was a number 2. So this one's a little bit smaller. It's blue and has the silver blade on it. So let's see. I'm going to get in the water here because otherwise I have to go through that. So in this is pretty fast all through here. So most likely the fish are going to be over here, where it's a little bit deeper and a little bit slower. See if we can sneak up there without causing too much disturbance in the water. Right over there should be one laying. Looks like there's some boulders in there. Oh, nada. Ooh, there was a hit. Oh, nope. That was a tree. Looks like it might be pretty shallow up in there. There might not be any fish there. Yeah, she's pretty shallow. Alright, I'm going to get out here. I don't want to cause too much disturbance in the water. Somebody living down here. Grocery cart there. Tent. Must be someone homeless living here. Check out that view. Isn't that beautiful? Mountain up there. Sun setting on it. Over here as well. Love the mountains. Looks like here's another access point. Now I'm just going to go down because it's pretty shallow here. So I'm not worried about spooking any fish right here at shore. This all looks pretty shallow, but going to make a cast across. Nada. This is pretty fast in here without any place for fish to really lay. Maybe a little bit right there. I could hide. If I can get a good angle to cast there. Perfect. Oh, strike. But he missed it. I seen him roll right behind the lure. Alright, let's see if we can get him to strike again. Him or her. Let's see. Jumping behind my lure. But didn't want to take it, I guess. One more cast up there. Not interested. Alright. Well, starting to lose our light. Let's see if we can find one more quick spot before heading back here. Oop, I just seen one. Came after it again. Did not touch it. Definitely looked like a brown trout. Come on, buddy. Just not liking the blue and silver, perhaps. Try this guy here. Jumping behind me. Come on, here we go. Take this one. Must like the gold better. I can really feel the blade whipping on this one. A lot bigger. Or a lot more vibration in the water. Right here. See how we have the fast water, slow water to the left here? Let's see what we can do here. This looks really good. Oh, we got people here. There's some pretty fast water. Should be nice to fish it, but no easy access there. Let's see if I can maybe get one cast down here. This log is making a break in the water where there could be fish laying. If it's deep enough in there, which I don't know, I can't see. Looks like there's an access point here that we can try quick. It's always hard to turn back. Looks pretty shallow in there though. Alright, well, let's go back before we lose all the light and hit a couple of those nice spots on the way back, see what happens. We even got cows over here. Bunch of cows. Scared the ducks. See, we got a nice easy cast here. Now one last fishing tip. Big brown trout a lot of times have been known to feed at night when they can go around and catch the other fish more easily because they're not as alert. It's harder to see. Sun's not out either. Brown trout don't like the sun that much. So you can catch some big brown trout after dark like this sometimes. But fishing becomes a lot harder because you can't even see if your bait, your lure is on there right any longer, or what you're going to potentially get snagged on out there in the water. Okay, keep on heading back. One last cast here. All right, well that about does it for the fishing tonight. It's just getting too dark to see. I hope you enjoyed some of those fishing tips and techniques that I threw in there while we're fishing today. Losing the light. We caught some white bass as well as a small brown trout, which was really nice. Not the big browns that we were hoping for, but if you use those fishing tips and techniques that I told you throughout the video, it's going to help you catch a lot more trout for sure. So post a comment down below. Let me know if you got anything from that. And also while you're down there, hit subscribe and then click that little bell to get more videos just like this, fishing tips and tricks and reviews of fishing products and things like that. Other than that, this is Todd Welch with the High Altitude Brands and the Backcountry Trails signing off. Tight lines, everybody.